GPT has over 700 million weekly active users and is now one of the most visited websites on the internet. So the big question is, how do you get ChatGPT to recommend your brand instead of your competitors? That's what we're going to walk through today. I'm Los Wyant, and I help businesses use SEO and AI together to show up where people are actually searching now, not just in old school Google results, but inside AI tools like ChatGPT and Perplexity. I'm going to break this down into simple four-pillar AI SEO blueprint you can follow to become one of the go-to brands in your niche. So let's jump in. Pillar one, nail the SEO foundations so AI can even see you. Before we talk about AI and fancy strategies, we need to make sure your basics are right. If your site can't be crawled or understood, AI is going to skip you completely. Make sure your site is actually indexable. Go to Google and type site yourdomain.com. If you barely see any pages or nothing at all, something is wrong. Your test settings that never got turned off. If robots are blocked, AI systems that lean on search engines also ignore you. Fixing this is step one. Step two, using HTML-based sites, not just JavaScript front ends. Most standard platforms like WordPress, Squarespace, or similar tools output HTML that's friendly to search engine and AI crawlers. But if your site is built heavily in JavaScript, some newer no-code or developer platforms do this, there's a good chance AI tools won't render or understand your content well. In simple terms, if your pages are hard to read for Google, they're hard to read for ChatGPT. Whenever possible, stick with HTML-driven pages or make sure any JS-heavy site is properly pre-rendered for crawlers. Number three, get serious about page speed. AI crawlers, just like humans, are impatient. You should aim for your pages to load in around 2.5 seconds or less. Slow pages get crawled less, convert worse, and create a poor user experience. So before worrying about clever AI prompts, make sure your host is solid, images are compressed, and unnecessary scripts are reduced. Fast, stable pages are easier for everything: Google, Chat, and your customers. Pillar two, master topic domination, not just have a website. Now let's talk about content. Imagine two local plumbing companies. One has 7 basic pages. One has 500 pages covering every service, problem, and situation a customer might face. Which one do you think looks more like an authority to Google and AI? The larger, well-built site usually wins, especially when the content is both relevant and organized. We're not just trying to publish fluff, we're building topical depth. Start with one core service. Pick one service or product you really are known for. For example, plumbing services in Chesterfield, Missouri. That's your main commercial topic. Then build supportive service pages. From that one topic, ask what are specific situations or subservices do we offer around this? For plumbing in a single city, that might include emergency plumbing in Chesterfield, commercial plumbing in Chesterfield, kitchen plumbing in Chesterfield, basement plumbing, laundry room plumbing, outdoor plumbing, water heater installation and repair, sewer line services. Each of these can be its own dedicated page, tightly focused in one intent. That's how you build topic clusters. One pillar page plus many related service pages, all linked together. Step three, use your competitors as a content map. If you're not sure what page to build, look at the navigation menu of your top competitors. Check their service pages, subservices, and categories. Make a list of everything they cover. Often you'll discover ideas like specific room-based services, seasonal maintenance, niche services, tankless water heaters, trenchless sewer repairs, etc. There's a tool called Zaleo that helps with all in this page structure very easily. I'll leave a link to that in the description. Step 4, let real search data refine your content. Once you have a healthy number of pages published, Google Search Console becomes your best friend. It will show you the actual queries people use to find, queries where you're getting impression but poor click, gaps where people are searching but you have no dedicated page yet. If a query doesn't perform well on a general page, it has a little different intent, that's your clue. Create a dedicated page for it. An advanced tactic, competitor seeding content. This is bold but powerful technique. Instead of waiting for AI to piece things together, you create content that frames the conversation in your niche. You create the top 10 best your services company in your city, big competitor alternatives in the city, big competitor versus your brand in city. You're intentionally creating content that mentions your competitors, presents your brand as an option, gives AI something very specific to grab when user asks comparison questions. These topics are usually lower competition, but exactly the kind of thing people in AI ask. Who's better, X or Y? Who are the top companies for the service in your city? Alternatives to a well-known brand. Used carefully and ethically, you can strongly influence how tools like ChatGPT talk about your brand. Pillar 3, blanket the search results that feed AI. Here's the key idea. ChatGPT uses search engines as one of its main sources when it retrieves live information. So if you want ChatGPT to recommend you, you want your brand present on as many pages that rank for your important searches as possible, not just your own site. Think of this as a serpent blanketing. Anywhere your ideal customers might look, anywhere ChatGPT might grab data, you want your brand showing up. To do this, use AI to discover your current citations. You can run your primary questions and prompts directly into ChatGPT or other AI tools. Look at what links and brands its answers, and make a list of those pages and sites. You now have a target list of pages that already rank and are already being used as sources. Those are primary outreach opportunities. Next, prioritize listing goals and recommendation pages. When you scan that list, prioritize best X in city, top tools for, best companies for, comparison post, and resource roundups. Those are exactly the pages users and AI lean on when making decisions. Your goal, get your brand added to those lists or featured more prominently where possible. This usually involves simple, polite outreach, offering additional information, testimonials, or updated data, sometimes negotiating sponsors placements if they're transparent about it. The AI doesn't care if it was a sponsored mention or a purely editorial one. It just sees your brand as part of the landscape. Next, build your Dream 100. Make a list of 50 to 100 sites, blogs, directories, and influencers in your niche. These are the places your ideal customers already trust, the properties that tend to rank high in Google, and the sources AI tools are most likely to favor. You don't need all 100, but if you build relationships with even a handful of them, the rippling effect is huge. Next, don't forget YouTube and video. Google owns YouTube, and YouTube content often appears in traditional search results, AI overviews, and embedded in other people's pages. So create video content around your key topics, collaborate with YouTube creators in your niche or region, sponsor integrations where it makes sense. You're not just chasing views, you're increasing your presence in the sources AI pulls from. Pillar 4, make your brand stupidly easy to trust. For ChatGPT or any AI tool to confidently recommend you, it has to see enough signals that you're a real trustworthy entity. We're going to make that as easy as possible. Clean up your NAP, that's your name, address, and phone number. Use any citation or local listing tool or even manual checks to make sure your business name, address, and phone number are exactly the same across your website, your Google business profile, directories, review sites, and social profiles. Inconsistency confuses both search engines and AI. Make your entity story simple and consistent. In one or two sentences, it should be clear who you are, what you do, where you serve, who you help. Repeat that same core statement across your homepage, your about page, your social media bios, your directory listings, and press mentions. The clearer and more consistent that is, the easier it is for AI to connect the dots and recognize you as one unified brand. Number 3, get serious about reviews in the right places. For local businesses, reviews are more than social proof. They're trust and authority signals. Google Business Profile reviews, essential for local search, and third-party review platforms are important for AI. It leans more on industry-specific review sites like healthcare, home services, and broad platforms that list and rate businesses. The right platforms depend on your niche, but the rule is pick the top few that matter most, build a simple, repeatable process to ask happy customers to respond to reviews in a thoughtful way. The more consistent, positive feedback you have across trusted platforms, the more comfortable AI systems feel recommending you. All right, bringing it all together. So, how do you get to recommend your brand? You fix the fundamentals so AI can crawl and understand your site. You build a deep topical authority with focused, well structured content. You blanket the SERPs with external sources AI already pulls from. And you make your brand impossible to misunderstand with clean entities and strong reviews. The goal isn't just more traffic, the goal is more influence in an AI powered search role. If you want help mapping this out for your specific business, which topics to build, which directories and reviews to focus on, and where's your best Dream 100 opportunities, that's exactly the kind of strategy work I love doing. But even if you DIY it, following these 4 pillars will make you miles ahead of the competitors who are still only thinking about old style rankings. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Now go make it easier for both humans and AI to recommend you.